Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Ichiva machanta namasanayang namasamana ratanatayang yang punya pisantang vipulang tasa nopia venahatan tarayao. Homage to the valuable triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. My veneration to the most venerable Mahā Sangha, the elders, and my sincere friendship to our brothers. Good morning, everyone in our class, and especially those who follow us on live stream. And good evening to Cambodia. So we start to the actual class again after absent for a week that I has my duty of my papers and practice in Bhavana Society located in West Virginia, USA. However, I was scheduled for you, especially I have 2 live videos for you last week, Monday and Wednesday. And those 2 weeks it was very critical classes. That is very important. That was very important. Last 2 classes that we are Buddhists should place in our mind, our heart, growing up this confidence toward that sutra and practice. So who remember that sutras? Who can tell me a brief, or who can summarize that sutra? Especially if you have any question also regarding last 2 sutras that we have already gone together last week, Monday and Wednesday. That was very short sutras, but it covered the entire teaching of the Buddha, especially as a Buddhist who practice. So who can tell me what are the sutras that are already gone together, and what is the significance of that sutra? So who can tell me in the Zoom? If you have any question also regarding the two sutras, those two sutras that we have last week also, you can raise up your hand and raise the question for me. Okay, let me drive you back to last week. Last week we have two sutras, Cetokila Sutta and Cetaso Vinibbana Sutta. We have two suttas last week. On Monday, we have Cetokila Sutta. Just remind you about the sutta. The sutta itself tells you what does it mean. Cetokila Sutta. It means what? The mental barrenness. The mental barrenness. So you remember, right? So the mental barrenness, Cetokila. In Cetokila Sutta, the Buddha mentioned about 5 mental barrenness. 5 mental barrennesses. What are those 5? Sattarikankati. You're not confident. You're not clear. You not place your confidence in your teachers. Teacher here means the Buddha, not just only his school teacher, but the Buddha. So when you not place your confidence or you are doubt in your teacher, the Buddha, I mean, the enlightened one, the Buddha, Saddha Deva Manushanang. Saddha Deva Manushanang. The Buddha is the teachers of Deva and humans, of Devas and humans. So that's called teacher or Saddha or Buddha. So if you are not confident in him, how can you practice his teaching? How can you practice in his dispensation? How you are become a Buddhist or Buddhist monk or Buddhist people, lay devotees. That's why Cetokila, that is the barrenness of mind. Make your minds not gentle. Make your mind not easy to get in, to get along, to go with. So if you contend with this Cetokila, the mental barrenness, you are not easy to practice. You are not satisfied in what you are right now. Be a monk or be a lay devotees. So the first one, Sattarikangati, you doubt or you not place confidence in your teacher, the Buddha. The second one, Dhammekangati, you doubt or not confident in Dhamma. What does Dhamma mean? Dhamma means the teaching, the Buddha's teaching. Arahata, Bhagavata, Janata, Pasata, Arahata, Sammasambuddhena, Addhakada. What the Buddha, the enlightened one, the exalted one, the blessed one has already given, has already delivered, has already taught with his knowledge, with his vision, with his understanding, with his the realization, realized mind. So this teaching, Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo, the Dhamma that the Buddha has already given. And Swakato, what does Swakato mean? Suakato. Swakato means Su plus Akato. Su means right. Su means good, the best. And Akato means delivered, or teach, or preach, or taught, or talk, or deliver. So Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo, the Dhamma or the teaching that the Blessed One has already good delivered. And you are not placed your confidence, you are not clear, or you doubt in this teaching, how can you practice? How can you make your mind? How can you pay your attention to practice as a monk or as lay devotees? The third one, Sankhe Kankati. You are doubtful, or not clear, or you're perplexed. You're not placed confident in the Sangha, the order of monk. Sangha means the disciples of the Blessed One. The disciple of the Blessed One have their qualities. Supadipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Those order of the monk, the disciple of the Blessed One, Supadipanno, right practice, or well practice. Supadipanno, well practice. What does the well practice mean? They practice for emancipation. They practice good. They practice right. Ujjupadipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. They practice straight. They practice straight because they are not left the road. They are not left the road. What are the road? Atthangika Makkena Padipatti. So they follow the 8 noble paths. The noble 8-fold paths. They not get away, they are not missed to walk through this path. The noble 8-fold path. Samadhi, right view. Sammasankappa, right thought. Sammavaca, right speech. Sammagammanta, right action. Sammavayama, right effort. Sammaājiva, right livelihood. Sammasati, right mindfulness. And Sammasamadhi, right concentration. So Ujjupadipano means they practice along with these noble 8-fold paths. For what? Nyaya Padipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. The disciple of the Blessed One practice in order to realize, in order to attain, in order to gain emancipation, nibbana, emancipation, to get rid of all suffering. Sami Chipadipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. By this aim, by this attention, they practice with respectful, they practice with gently. So they practice along with their respection, Samiji. And those monks or those disciples of the Buddha are in pair. We have 4 pairs. Sutta Pattimagga, Sutta Pattiphala as one pair. Example. individual, we have eight individual disciple, the great disciple of the Noble One. This is only just example that you can get the idea and develop your understanding. Sanghe Kankati. If you're not clear, if you have doubt, if you're not placed on your confidence in the Sangha, the great disciple of our blessed one, how can you be good in practice? How can you be a good disciple of the Buddha? How can you be good lay devotees in Buddha dispensation? The fourth one, Sakaya Kankati. You're not happy, you're not confident, you're not clear, or you have doubt, perplexity in training. If you're not clear about training, how can you train? For example, if you not give a credit to meditation, how can you meditate? Just only sitting, valueless. It's not meaningful for you. So that's why these four, Satri Kankati, Dhamme Kankati, Sanghe Kankati, Sattha, Sikkaya Kankati, these four barriers of the mind will hinder you from wholesome growth, Koshala Dhamma, wholesome growth, to develop your mind. And the last one, Kupito Hoti Bhikkhu. So Bhikkhu or disciple who are easily get angry, resentment, or jealousy. This is the kinds of barrenness, mental barrenness. So Ceto Kela contain these 5 codes of teaching. And the second sutta, Cetaso Vinibbana Sutta, about the 5 bondages of the mind. Cetaso Vinibbana, the bondage of the mind. The bondage means thread which can tie you strong in this world. It's not release you from this world. What are these worlds? The worlds of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, perceiving, all of this sensual pleasure will tie you in this world. It is called the bondage of mind. So 5 bondages of mind. What are the 5? The 5 bondages of mind. The first one, rupe, as I remember, rupe. Those who still cling or grasp in form, those who still grasp or cling, or those who still engage with all the form. What are the form? Rupa. Rupe avidarago, rupe avida tanaho, avida pipaso, avida pepemo. It means you still in love, you still in you're not devoid, you are not devoid the lust for this sensual pleasure. Yeah, the first one is sense. The first one is for yeah, the first one is in karma. Yeah, the first one is kame avita rago avita tanha avita pipaso avita pepemo avigata pemo. So the first one about the karma, both the house of craving, karma here, desire, sensual pleasure, form as the sensual, form as the form as desire, affected, thirst, passion, or craving. So your mind still clinging with this karma, sense of pleasure, form, sound, smell, taste, etc. So this is the first one. If you still, your mind still in this pleasure, enjoyment with this karma, both kilesa karma and vatu karma. Kilesa karma refers to what? Raga dihe malehe upakaleso. Raga dihe malehe sankalisati. Those who are clinging, those who are spoiled, those who are pained with what? With all the defilements. Raga, what does raga mean? Greed. Raga mean greed. G-R-E-E-D, greed. Raga. Dosa, what does dosa mean? Hatred. And moha, delusion. So this is we call mala. Mala, defilement. Mala. So the mind is spoiled by this defilement. Raga, dosa, moha, greed, hatred, delusion. And also abhijja visamalobe lobhatihi upakilesehi. By those lower defilement, or just the central of defilement, like abhijja visamaloba. Abhijja means in akusala dhamma, abhijja, it's just clinging to other belonging, other properties, or you are affected with somebody properties without proper thinking, without proper mind, without proper effort to find those properties. And visamalopa is in visamalopa as thought in Chakravarti Sutra. In Chakravarti Sutra, visamalopa refers to those who are grasping, who are affected with their own properties, their own wealth, their own belongings. For example, the rich man understand that there are lots of poverties or poor people in the world, and they are rich men, even though they think that even though they donate to the poor or the beggar, if they give their money $1, $2, or 50 cents to poor, to beggar, they think that there are lots of beggars, especially in America. You know, in America there are a lot of beggars and sleeping under the street or at the bus station, train station, under the bridge, or under the street, like in Los Angeles or California, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York, etc. There are lots of beggars in America. They said that even though I give all my properties, all my wealth to these beggars, it's not enough for them because lots of poor, a lot of beggars. So he doesn't give. He doesn't give any charities, any donation to others. It is called Visamaloba. Visamaloba, based on Cakkavatti Sutta of Dikha Nikaya. Cakkavatti Sutta Dikha Nikaya. But based on the same books of Dikha Nikaya, but in Aggañña Sutta, Visamalopa means the greed that happen in proper way. The greed that happen in improper way. What is improper ways? For example, in our society, in tradition, Cambodian or Lao, Thai, maybe in Asian country, we never married our cousin. We never married our sibling, right? In our country. And before, the lust or craving never happened between families, our parents, our sibling or cousin. But later on, Visamalopa means you have lust, you have broken, or you break the custom, you break the tradition. You married your cousin, you married your sibling, you married your aunt or uncles, or even you love your own mothers in sensual pleasure. Kama raga. This means Visamalopa, based on Aggañña Sutta, Sumangala Vilasani. So, Kame Avidarago, Avitatanaho, Avigatapemo, Avigatappipaso. All this is the first bondage of the mind. And the second one, rupe, in form in your personal root, your personal bodies. You still cling in your personal body. That means you are not devoid of lust, not devoid of desire, not affection, thirst, passion, and craving for your bodies. The second one. And the third one, from the body. And the third one, the form. The third one, the form. Form means somebody gaya, somebody figures, somebody forms. So we have kama, sense of pleasure. We have body, kaya, refers to ourselves, and we have rupe, it is form, refers to others. We are not devoid the desire, craving, affection, passion, thirst for other form, other person, other people. We love this person, this person. That is the third. That is the third boundaries of the mind. And the fifth one, the fourth and the fifth. The fourth one, it is critical point. You are not understanding your limitation of eating. You just eat whatever you want. You eat still full. You eat with stomach. Your stomach is full and difficult to sit, difficult to walk, difficult to sleep. So you just eat whatever you want, how much you want. It is also the mental bondage of the mind. And the fifth one, you practice Dhamma. You observe 5 precepts, you offer 10 precepts, you offer 8 precepts, or you be amongst, you practice this thing, because you want to be born in heaven. You want to be born with devas. You want to be born in rich family. If you still have this thinking and practice and do merit, do punya, give almsgiving, it is called the bondage of the mind. Bondage of the mind, what does it mean? To bound you in this world. You are not enough to release yourself from this world. So these are the 2 sutras, Cetokila Sutta and Cetaso Vinibbana Sutta, that we have studied last week. So now let's come to this week. This week I just take Desa, the prologues of the Buddha's teaching in Mahā Satipatthāna Sutta. I think you all familiar with this sutra. Let me share for you. So I think you all familiar with this sutra, Mahā Satipatthāna Sutta, the great frames of reference, not reference, sorry. The great frames of reference. Actually, you have heard the word 4 foundation of mindfulness. They translate of the great 4 foundation of mindfulness, Mahā Satipatthāna. This one I just take like the new, like the different translation in order to give you some different word that you have learned, because 4 foundation of mindfulness is well known, that translated from the word Satipatthāna. Sati means mindfulness. Patthāna means striving, placing, or keeping, or catching, or walking through, or practice. So Satipatthāna actually means practice of mindfulness. But here, Venerable Dhammasirī just translate as the frames of reference. Frames of reference. So the frame means the foundation, the boundaries, the boundary, the reference, whatever you are aware, what we are you practice, what we are living. So the reverence. So the great frames of reverence can be fit with Mahā Satipatthāna. But you can keep your translation that the great four foundation of four foundation of mindfulness. Yeah, you can go back to your familiar translation that you are comfortable. And here I have translated for you. We go to the translation. Direct paths. Ekayano, as direct paths. The purifications of beings. Sattana Visuddhiya. For the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation. Sukha Pradevanang Samatikamaya. For the disappearance of pains and distress. Dukkha Domanasana Atangamaya. For the attainment of the right method. Nyayasa Adigamaya. The realization for the realizations of unbinding. Nibbanasa Satchikariyaya. the 4 frames of reference. Cattaro Satipatthāna. Which 4? Gatame Cattaro. Remain focused on the body. Kayanupassi viharati. Ardent, atapi, alert, sampajanyo, mindful, satima, and putting aside create and distress with reference to the word. Vinayaloke abhijato manasang. So this word, I think you all familiar with this translation. And this sutra, I think as you heard, it's a little bit long, but it is Venerable Thanissara just summarize it to very, very brief, very short. So before I explain you, I think I will explain you in just 10 minutes because I explained all the last week sutra take like 35 minutes already. So now go to the sutra itself. So can you read all the sutra?
Mahā Satipatthāna Sutta, the great frame of reference. I have heard that on one occasion, the first one was staying in the Guru country. Now this is the town of the Guru called Dhammasirī. There the first one addressed the monks, "Man, Lord." The monk replied, "The first one said this is the direct path for the purification of being, for the overcoming of sorrow, lamentation, for the disappearance of pain and distress, for the attachment of the wise men, for the realization of unbinding in the word, the 4 frames of reference which 4. This is the case where a man remains focused on the body in and of itself, ardent, alert, and mindful, pulling aside grief and distress with reference to the world. He remains focused on feeling, mind, mental quality, and in and of themselves. Ardent, alert, and mindful, pouring the set aside grief and distress with reference to the world.
Okay, thank you. So this is the first part of Mahā Satipatthāna Sutta. We call Uddesavara, the sessions of prologue or preface that the Buddha just bring up the short passage for his disciples, easy to understand. It is summarize of the sutta. So if you keep mind in this short passage, you will understand the whole Satipatthāna Sutta. Satipatthāna Sutta is long discourses. In Dikha Nikaya, we call Mahā Satipatthāna Sutta. Dikha Nikaya number 22. And in Majjhima Nikaya Mulapanasaka, MN10, Majjhima Nikaya number 10, Sutta number 10, we call Satipatthāna Sutta. even a little bit shorter, but the whole thing, discussion and teaching is the same. So this Satipatthāna Sutta, the first that you all may be familiar, Ekayano ayam bhikkave maggo sattanang visuddhiya soka paridevanang atikkamaya dukkha domanassanang atangamaya nyayasa atikkamaya nibbanasa sacchikiriyaya cattaro satipatthāna. Kathanja bhikkhu Kaya kaya no pasi viharate atapi sambhajano satima vinayloke abhijato manasang. Vedanasu vedana no pasi viharate atapi sambhajano satima vinayloke abhijato manasang. Chitte chitta no pasana no pasi dhamme sudhamma no pasi viharate. So also of these four we call four foundations of mindfulness. Four foundations of mindfulness. Venerable Dhammasirī here translate as four frames of reference. But the word family for you, foundations of mindfulness. What does foundation mean? Foundation means the base or basic or ground, or which can hold you here. Foundation. If you build house, you build the house without foundation, without base, without this basement, how can your house stay still? How can this house be strong? So to build the house, you need basement, you need foundation. To place something also, you need foundation. To study, you need foundation. Without foundation from primary school, from high school, you cannot jump up to the master degree or bachelor degree or PhD. You have to base on your foundation, right? So here, Satipatthāna means the foundations of the mind, of mindfulness. Sati means mindfulness. Patthāna means foundation. Patthāna means foundation. So these four foundations, what are the four foundations? Kaya nupassana satipatthāna. Kaya nupassana satipatthāna. You remain focused on your body. Remain focused on your body. It is the first one. The first foundation. Remain focused on, or remain reflect on. Remain thinking on. Keep your mind with your body all the time. It means Kayanupassana Satipatthāna means you reflect or you keep your mind in the body all the time. Or we use here the Venerable Dhammasirī use the word remains focused on. It means you are still with your body. Kaya means body. Kayanupassana means reflects very often, reflect all the time on your body. Vedanasu or Vedananupassana Satipatthāna. The foundations of mindfulness that you remain remain focused on your feeling. Vedana, feeling. Chittanupassana reflects or keep your mind in chitta, in mind. Keep your mind in mind. It means you reflect your thinking, you practice in your mind. And Dhammanupassana. Dhammanupassana to keep your mind in mental culture or the mental objects or the dhammas. So in this short passage, the Buddha mentioned 21 qualities, 21 points of practice. Kayanupasana, there are 14 key points of Kayanupasana practice. Kayanupasana contains 14 points. Breathing in, breathing out, with 6 points, different 6. There are 6 different practice on breathing in and out. 6 different. And then we have Sampajanya Bappa. Sampajanya, the chapter on Sampajanya. What does Sampajanya mean? Here, when the Venerable Thanissaro translate as Sampajanya, translate as alert. But Sampajanya in general, clear comprehension. Clear comprehension. This is very important, clear comprehensions. Who knows how many, who know Sampajanya? If you have learned Satipatthāna before, Sampajanya, the clear comprehensions, refers to those 4 kinds. We have Sataka Sampajanya, we have Gochara Sampajanya, we have Sappaya Sampajanya, Sappaya Sampajanya, and Asammoha Sampajanya. So Sataka Sampajanya, the clear comprehension of your purpose. What is your purpose of practice? You're moving your body. Sampajanya Baba, the Buddha mentioned about your 4 postures: walking, sitting, lying, or walking. All of this, you be aware. Even you take your cups of tea or your cups of water, you drink or you do anything, you are driving, you should aware all the time. Sampajanya means aware all the time. But it refers to 4 clear comprehension. First one, Sadhaka Sampajanya, the clear comprehension of your purpose. What is the purpose of your doing? For example, you're driving. What is the purpose of driving? So you have to focus on your driving. You are not driving with dreaming, with sleeping, or with thinking other ways. Will make you accidentally crash or hit somebody. So Sadhaka Sampajanya, understand about your purpose. And Gochara Sampajanya, domain, the clear comprehension of domain. What does domain mean? It is the first word that we have learned, domain. And in children books, we have domain. I think you have seen like one dog with his house inside. That house, dog's how we call the domain of the dog. You cannot go, you cannot how to say, you cannot go to take it belonging. Domain means belonging. Belonging to the dog. Dog house means belonging to the dog. Belonging means domains. We call domain. So Gochara Sampajanya means the clear comprehension of domains. You understand what is your domain, what is your belonging, what is your practice, what is your own properties. In this dispensation, Satipatthāna is your domain. In Vattu, in Nivatta Sutta, Nivapi Sutta of Majjhima Nikaya, the Buddha mentioned about those beings who not understand, who not go along with their domains, will collapse and catch by the hunter. There are lots of animals catch by hunters because they're not going to their domains. They get away from their domains and go along with the Mara domain, the evil one domain. So the Maras or evil one can kill this animal, can kill these beings because of this being not going along his domain. And what are his domain? Cattaro Satipatthāna, 4 foundations of mindfulness. The mindfulness, you are aware. You are mindful to do everything. I will explain the word mindfulness after this thing. What does the mindfulness refer to in Buddhism? So your domain is 4 foundation of mindfulness, Satipatthāna. It is called Gochara Sampajanya and Sapaya Gochara. Suitability, Sapaya, enjoy. When you go with your domains and enjoy with your belonging, enjoy with what you have. In Satipatthāna, in great effort, Sammappadhāna or Bojjhanga, all of the things that you can enjoy with, it is Sapaya Sampajanya. And the last one, Asammoha Sampajanya, clear comprehension of not being foolish, not being foolish, not being not being deluded mind. So clear comprehension, sampajanya, and we have dhatu manasikara, concentration on 4 great elements, particular manasikara, concentration on dirty, and what else? Gandhabhapa, concentration on your body, etc. So all of the 14 key points the Buddha discussed in Kayanupasana Satipatthāna. Vedana Satipatthāna 1, Cittanupasana 1, and Dhammanupasana 5. So in total, 21 key points. I don't think we have time to go to all of this Satipatthāna. Just only refers to Kayanupasana. We have 14 points, and Vedana 1, Vedananupasana 1 point, Citta 1, and Dhamma we have 5 points, 5 key practice, like Nivarana, 5 hindrances, like Ayatana, the 6 base senses, like such 4 noble truths, and Bojjhanga, 7 factors of enlightenment, and the last one, noble eightfold path, Attangika Magga. So these five key points discussed in the Dhammanupassana. So come back to our purpose. So I wrote here the purpose of mindfulness, but now I don't have time to explain you. Maybe next week, on Wednesday, I will explain what are these 5 purposes of mindfulness. But please understand the word mindfulness. Mindfulness generally understand by many scholars, philosophers, psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors, professors, and scientists. They know mindfulness very well, but in their ways, not in the Buddha's way, in their way. Because mindfulness is general word that use. Satipatthāna, translated as mindfulness, you can see the first time that used in scientists based back to the German times of psychological development. David Hume, Martin Husserl, Edmund Husserl, and Martin Heidegger, they use the word immediate experience. They use the word, like Martin Husserl, they use the word Besinnung, the mindfulness. We can go back to those philosophers and psychologists, but the first very well known and developed to the West, the word mindfulness took place in 1933 to 1939, that Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, take this Satipatthāna or mindfulness to teach in Swiss university. In university in Switzerland from 1933 to 1939 about Satipatthāna, the mindfulness. He called the process of individuation. Satipatthāna, he translates as the process of individuation. So based on individual to practice mindfully. And this theory developed to the West or among philosophers, physicists, scientists, psychologists around the world until today. Especially this idea came to America in 1962 to 1965 in Bhikkhu Institute of California. And in 1970, developed by John Kabat-Zinn as mindfulness-based stress reduction. And is well known until today as the psychiatrist. How to cure the mind, how to develop the mind, how to work with the problem, mental problem. So mindfulness is well known to the West, well known to the scholar and scientists. But what does the mindfulness really mean? Mindfulness, based on the understanding, just you are focused, you are aware, you are paying attention to, you are focused to, you are reflecting to. For example, you are mindful of drinking, you are focused on your driving, you are focused on what you are doing. It is also mindfulness. But in this way, mindfulness should be both, should be bad and should be good. Why mindfulness should be bad? For example, the thieves, or robbers, they are very mindful to steal somebody's belonging, right? They're paying them much attention, because when they want to steal somebody belonging in the store, in the shopping mall, or Now we see around the rubber traveling around the United States, go to the temple, the eggs are like a worshiper, prayer, asking blessing for the monk, and their colleague go into the room searching for property, money or something, and take a lot of money from the Buddhist temple, Laos, Thai, Cambodia, others temple in United States. They're so mindful, right? They're mindful. If they're not mindful, how can they? Yeah, it is mindfulness also. But this kind of mindfulness is not the Buddhist mindfulness, not Satipatthāna. So then you have to understand the 5 purposes of mindfulness. 5 purposes of mindfulness. The first one, Sattanang Visuddhiya. Mindfulness here, Sattanang Visuddhiya. The second one, Soka Paridevanang Samatikamaya. The third one, Dukkha Domanassanang Attangamaya. The fourth one, Nyayasa Adhigamaya. And the fifth one, Nibbanasa Sachikiriyaya. These 4 purposes of mindfulness is the Buddhist mindfulness that the Buddha mentioned. If beside or out of this explanation is not a right mindfulness. Samma Sati in Noble Eightfold Parts, Samma Sati, the right mindfulness here with these 5 purposes. Let me give you one and keep for the next Wednesday. Sattanang Visuddhiya. What the mindfulness mean for the purifications of beings. Satta means beings. But being here, the word satta, satto, asatto, disatto. So those who are clinging, those who are grasping with objects, with objective, with the whirling object, it is called satta, also called beings. So satta means those who are cling or grasp, with all worldly things. It is called satta. From the very beginning of the world, that the world destroyed by fire, by water, by the wind, and the world start developing. There were satta. There were satta. At the first time, we don't have sattva paññatti. We don't have the name called human being, manusya, or we don't have the word terechana, animal, birds, Brahma, Indra, Deva, Gandhapa, Ashura, Yaksa. We don't have those words. At the very beginning, we have only the word satta. Satta tve sankyang gacchati. In Akanya Sutta, the Buddha said, there is only satta, called satta only, nothing else. We call satta. Why is satta? Why it happened? Because the satta mean in Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha said what? Chitta sangalesa bhikkave satta sangalisati. The Buddha said what? The satta mean those who are defiled by those who have chitta, the mind defiled by the defilement. The chitta mean chitta is spoiled or defiled. Defiled means to make dirty, make it dirty. So the minds of those who are dirty, it is called satta. So you understand the word satta. It is defiled by the kilesha, defilement. So defiled by with what? Rupena sangalisati. Defiled by form. Saddena, Gandena, Rasena, Potapena, all of those you are clinging, you are stick with all those sense of pleasure. It is called Satta. It is called Satta. So Satta means those who are cling, those who are stick with this worldly thing. So in Akanya Sutta of Digha Nikaya, the Buddha told the developments of the word Satta, always clinging. Because at first time we don't have any classifications of human, animal, birds, or Deva, Indra, Yaksa, Mara, or Brahma. Only Satta. But there is very lazy, very how to say low lachatako Satta. Those who the Satta who are not well trained, who are like I cannot remember that word in English, but those who are just playing, like playing, yeah, lola jatuko sato, the being who like just playing, to touch the earth, the earth and taste the earth, and then the earth that time is very sweet like honey. So then desire, tanaha, happen because of lola. Desire happen, and they try to eat. All the beings, satta, eat that dirt. For such a long time, the dirt is vanished because of their clinging, because of their desire, tanaha, grasping, and then there is like the sweet padalata happen. So in development, so in Wednesday I will told all the story about it, but just remember the word satta. Satta means those who are stick, those who are clinging or grasping with this world's sensual pleasure. So that's why this satta, those who are spoiled, who are made by the defilement like raga, dosa, and moha, and also avijja, visamalopa. This is called satta. But remember, there is also asatta. Asatta is not human beings who are carriers of everything in this world, who are not attached, who are not cling, who are not stick in this world. We call asatta. Who is asatta? Buddha, Pajjika Buddha, and Arahant. It is called asatta. In Dhammapada, Brahmana Vagga, the Buddha said to Vankisat, Juteng yo veti sattanang upapattinja sappaso asattang sukatang buddhang tamahang brumi brahmana. The Buddha said what? The Buddha said, those who understand the appearance, upapatti, appearance or bonds, and disappearance, juti, disappearance or dies, of all living beings by everything. So those who understand, those who know the appearance and disappearance of all living beings in any way, it is called Brahmin. It is called Brahmana, who have all the unwholesome give up, who give up all unwholesome, and it is called Asattang Sukadang Buddhang. It is called Buddha, who go very well, who have gone well, and Asatta is not being. Asattang Sukadang Buddhang. So those who understand the appearance and disappearance of all living beings, it is called Brahmin, who give up all unwholesome, and is called Asatta. It means who are not clinging to all of these things. Sukhada, well gone to the Nibbana, and Buddha. It is the Buddha awakening. So thank you very much. So it is for you today. And I hope if you have time to read again this short passage and come, and on Wednesday I will go through all the 5 purposes of mindfulness. So thank you very much, and good night, and good day to here.